بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. أهلا وسهلا بكم في هذه المحاضرة. سوف تكون المحاضرة مسجلة كالعادة، فلذلك إذا كان هناك لأي واحد منكم أي اعتراض يمكنه أن ينسحب الآن، لأن المحاضرة سوف تسجل الصوت والصورة وكل الكلمات المتداولة بيننا خلال هذه المحاضرات. So welcome back everybody. We are very pleased to see you here again. This is the grammar course for beginners in translation from English into Arabic and vice versa. The book that we're using for this session or this course is called Building Skills for the TOEFL by Nancy Stanley and Carol King. Nothing in this presentation or in these sessions or lectures or whatsoever is intended to infringe on the rights of third parties, particularly intellectual property rights. Nothing will be presented on this screen in terms of the book or any part thereof. If you are interested in the book, as we said previously, you can get it from Amazon.com, betterwords.com, or whatsoever, but we do not present anything like that on the screen. With this being said, we can start now with the second chapter of this book. The first one was about check the subject and verb both present neither repeated, and now we move to the second rule, which is equally important. Check verb agreement tense and form. As we usually do, we will start first of all with some sentences from in English, and we'll try to translate some of them with your help. Hopefully you will try to translate some of them or to do some of these errors to tell us the type of mistake, and you can say also the correction if you can. We're looking forward to your participation, and if you participate, just raise your hand. We will give you the chance to talk immediately. The exercise has 10 sentences as usual. So the first one is A. Professor Jamison is extremely well liked by his colleagues. What's the mistake here? Now this is a problem. If you haven't answered this yet, it means you haven't mastered the English language, so to speak. But if you can, then I think you will have no problem in English. So yes, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 people. Thank you very much. Abdullah, we'll start with Abdullah, please. What's the mistake here, Abdullah? Well, I'm afraid I have a problem with the program because it seems that I am unable to unmute any one of you. I'm trying, but I am unable to do so. So please bear with me. I will just exit the program and come immediately afterwards. I'm sorry for that, but we cannot do anything. The recording will still be on, so there is no problem. Nothing will be lost. Please just bear with me. I will just exit the program now and come again. Hopefully it works. Yes, Mesa, I think you can talk.
Okay. The problem here is with the word extreme. It should be extremely well liked by his colleagues. I think the problem is word form. Check for word form.
Yes, thank you very much. This is what I was waiting for you. First of all, you have to tell me what's the problem. The problem is with word form and not any other mistake. Thank you very much, Mesa. We will move to another person. So the mistake should be just extremely. Why? Because this is an adverb, and it should be is extremely. Just trying to put some answers on the whiteboard, but hopefully you're following up with the notebooks that you have or with the books themselves. So back to other people. Yes, we have the second one, which is the report was concise and it was succinct. So what's the problem here? What do you think the problem is here? Nidal, yes, please. The floor is yours.
Yes, please. The problem here, it is unnecessary repetition.
Yes, this is unnecessary repetition because you do not need to say, and it was succinct, which is also it has the same meaning as concise. Thank you very much, Nidal. Now we move to other people, and we have number C. If there is nobody else other than Mesa, then I have to take Mesa. Other people are invited to talk, in fact. Yes, Mesa, the floor is yours.
Okay, the problem is the verb form. It should be had felt behind the sofa.
Well, in fact, you cannot have two verb forms. Yes, not word form. Yes, I'm sorry, I did not understand you. Yes, it is word form
Yeah, I
because
said
it should
the
be
verb.
had
Yeah,
fallen. Yes, it should be had fallen. The
yeah,
picture
true.
had
Yeah.
fallen or fell between. Yes, thank you very much. I could hear you correctly. I thought you were talking about word form. In fact, you were talking about verb form. Yes, that's right. Thank you very much, Mesa. We move now to Ali, which is number D. Yes, Ali, number D.
Yes, sir. They spend their vacations either Europe or Mexico. I think the problem related to check the subject and verb. So we have to delete there. They spend vacations either Europe or Mexico.
Okay, now we have check verb and the subject and verb both present, neither repeated. Ali, the subject is they, it's not repeated, and the spend is the verb, it's not repeated. Their vacations, this is the object. So basically, it's not the subject verb agreement or repetition whatsoever. But here we have either in Europe or in Mexico. This is parallel structure. So when you say either in, it should be or in. You cannot have either in, then you have or. So that's the mistake. Thank you very much, Ali. Now we want to move to other people. Is there anybody who would like to say something about the number D? We have beside two houses in the city, he owns a farm in the country. Is there any suggestion for this one? Beside two houses in the city, he owns a farm in the country. I think this is difficult because once you get down in the priority list that we have, that we talked about, the checklist, things become more complicated. This one is very complicated, although it's very simple at the same time. And we would like to have an answer. Do you have any answer for this? Yes, we have. Why cannot I see your hands? I don't know why. Just Mona, yes, please, Mona. Beside two houses in the city, he owns a farm in the country. Yes, Mona, you have the mic. Yes.
I think the problem here with in the country, it will be at the country.
Thank you very much, Mona. I will answer you by saying no, this is wrong. You cannot say at the country because in the country in Arabic, by the way, is arif, fi arif, fi arif. This is the meaning of that. So maybe hard luck for you this time. Maybe next time you will give me a better answer. And remember, all the time we need to know the type of mistake rather than just the correction. Amira would like to say something. Please do. Amira, number E is very difficult. So can you solve it?
I think besides.
Yes, you do not think, in fact, this is the truth. It should be besides. And how do you translate besides?
بجانب.
Okay, إضافة إلى. Besides, you can say إضافة إلى بجانب, etc. I would like to say besides إضافة إلى or and beside it means something is next to something. And here I would like just to invite you to see if this dictionary would help us, by the way. Thank you very much. I think you gave us a correct answer, Amira. Now we say beside. For example, it will give me the beside and besides difference. If one thing is beside another, it is next to it or at the side of it. But if something called besides, it means in addition to. And this is called the Collins-Gobel lexicon. Inside the lexicon there is usage, and there are separate books indeed. If you're talking about written paper, it's just separate books, but here we have an electronic version of the dictionary. You can use it. For those who are listening to the recording, this is the dictionary is called Collins-Gobel. I'm just presenting it on the screen to say that it shows the differences between words when they are used in English. So thank you very much, Amira. Now we would like to move to Maha. Maha, the next one is Maha. Yes, you have to unmute yourself, Maha, to talk.
Okay.
That's fine. Yes.
In the Rio Grande Valley, that the ruby red grapefruit is grown. This sentence is, I believe that it's a problem check for subject and verb. I believe that is repeated.
Which one is? What is it talking about?
The
first one.
Okay.
What's wrong with it?
Okay. I believe that we should omit the first is.
No, this is untrue. You have to say it is in, because the rule says check the subject and verb both present, neither repeated. Thank you, Maha, for your answer. I also all the time encourage you to give me answers even if they are wrong. So thank you. Abdullah will come back. I'm sorry for the mistake that happened just a minute ago when we had to exit the program. Obviously, you had a problem in coming back. I'm sorry for this. So, Maha, do you have any question? Because I will just remove the hands signals so that you can raise it again if you have any question. And I hope I can see them, the hands. Now, number G, after finishing dinner, the telephone rang. What's wrong with this sentence in translation? Who can say it? Now, forget about it, the mistake. I just want to know why is it wrong? Because in translation, it's very funny. It is funny in translation, and maybe Maysa will tell us why it is funny. It is funny in translation. Why, Maysa? Maysa, you have to unmute yourself, I'm afraid.
Okay. Because if we translate it, we will say بعد انتهاء الهاتف من غدائي رن.
نعم، رن الهاتف بعد أن انتهى الهاتف من عشائي. And this is
من عشائه رن.
And this is funny, yes, exactly. Thank you very much, Maysa. Thank you very much. We have something from Sana. She says she had a problem with the computer. Yes, we know that. We know that we have some computer problems. So, after finishing the dinner, the telephone rang. Maybe we can say, for example, this is pronoun problem. This is pronoun problem. It could be anything else anyway. After, or subordination problem. After the dinner is finished, for example, after people finish their dinner whatsoever, you can say anything you want, but you cannot say after finishing dinner, otherwise it will be a problem. So it has to do, I think, with subordination here. Maybe it's, yes, subordination, yes. This is called قواعد تحويل transformational grammar. Sarah would like to say something, and we have number 8. You have the mic, Sarah.
Yeah.
Yes, Sarah, you have the mic. You can talk.
Yes, she had no idea who had left her the note. I think the problem with whom, she had no idea who had
Yes, because
left her.
This should be in the nominative case rather than in the objective executive case. Thank you very much, Sarah. We move now to Fatima, and Fatima, the mic is yours now. They agreed tomorrow to make a decision. What's wrong with this sentence?
Should read they agreed to make a decision tomorrow. I think it's word order.
No, it's not word order. It is something simpler than the word order. It's simply the verb tense, because you cannot say agreed tomorrow. It should be agree tomorrow, or otherwise it would be a word usage. So you have to say agreed yesterday, example. So this one could be word usage. It could also be verb tense. So it could be both ways. Thank you very much, Fatima, and we move now to Abdullah. Welcome, Abdullah. This is the last one, number J. Antique furniture sells well, even though it is expensive. What's wrong with this?
I think the wrong is the verb sells here.
Antique furniture sells well, so you believe that sell is wrong, how it should be. How should it be?
Like we can say like um, is sold maybe.
Well, in fact, no. You can say sells. You can say the furniture sells. The cars sell high these times. You can say all of these things. But here the problem is with subordination, which is though is expensive. It should be though it's expensive. It is expensive. So this is full subordination problem. Thank you very much, Abdullah. We now move to, I'm now just lowering your hands with your permission, of course. So here we have some explanation about the rule number 2, and rule number 2 says you have to see if the verb is wrong or not, and there are several ways of knowing that. It could be agreement, it could be the form, it could be the tense, it could be anything related to these things. So we have these explanations. We have, for example, the following. First of all, when we talk about the problem of the verb, it could be in the agreement, in the verb agreement. And here are some examples about the agreement. It says that we have 3 sentences and the 3 sentences are wrong. Now listen carefully. The teacher with her students are viewing the film. Here, this is a mistake. It is a mistake because when you say with, when you have with, you don't look at what comes after with. You look at what comes before it. In fact, it's teacher. So teacher is singular, and the verb here is plural, which is wrong. So it should be is viewing rather than are viewing. And the same thing happens to other examples, as we can see. It was the neighbor's dogs that was barking last night. It was the neighbor's dogs. Now here it should be it was the neighbor's dogs. It was the neighbor's dogs, yes, but that were barking last night. So in fact, we have some problems here with those verbs. When we see the rule, this is very weird, in fact, to say it was the neighbor's dogs that was barking. It should be that were barking. Now, I understand that, so this is one way of the verbs, that problems with the verbs inside the subordination. So you can see an overlap even here between subordination and verb forms. Anyway, so this one should be that were barking last night. Anyway, everyone but the janitor have left the building. In fact, the rule says whenever we have everyone, it is singular and not the plural. So this has to do with the subject-verb agreement as far as the tense is concerned. We're talking about past, present, etc. And here, for example, the doctor was out of town since last week. You cannot say since last week for one reason. You know why? Do you know why we cannot say last here? We're sorry for Sana that she has problems. It seems to be that she had repeated problems with her computer. I'm sorry, I wish I could help you, because I have in the questions that she says she has problem. Sana is here anyway. We're happy that you are here. Can you use the microphone, Sana? Sana, I will give you the microphone to explain to me why cannot we say the doctor was out of town since last week. We cannot say since. Okay, Sana, once again you have a problem with the microphone. There are certain types of microphone that do not work on all computers, I'm afraid. So maybe you can do something about that. Sarah, we can talk about since, and we have a problem. What's there? What's happening here?
I think we have to use the before last week, because since I need to use with the specific number or specific date.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you very much, Sarah. You gave me half the truth. You say it's just since, maybe you wanted to say it is a date, specific date. Since comes with a specific point of time. You cannot say it since last week because it's not a specific point of time, but there's something more. This is just the tip of the iceberg, and the story is just bigger. In fact, when you say was, this is a past simple. It is something that happened in the past, is no longer existent in the present, and this is the past. You cannot say that. You have to say the doctor has been out of time since last week. You can say that. There is no problem with the since, in fact, with last week, as much as there is a problem with was here. The doctor has been out of town since last week. the doctor has been, because until this moment he is not there in the town. If I say he was out of the town, you do not say since, just say last week. John Kennedy has been being dead since 1963. I think this is just obvious. You cannot say has been being dead simply because it's a present. At the present means until the moment. He is still dying and dying and dying and still living. This is untrue. So you can say died since 1963. This is the problem. Or you can say has been dead since 1963, although it's very weird to say has been dead. The man says that he will work late tonight. It should be that he would work late tonight, or you can say the man says that he will work tonight. This is the reported speech. So here we have the issue of terms. This is something that we will discover inside this chapter just in the following exercises. I'm dropping your hands now because we want just to move faster. The program has already begun. Now here we have some problems. Form of irregular verbs. And here we have a problem with began. It should be has begun and not has began. This is the first time a player has broke his arm. We have a problem with the verb form. It should be has broken and not has broke, because this is the present perfect. This is simply the has, have, or whatsoever, and the past participle. The ship sunk 10 miles from the coast. It should be sank because this is the past simple. And we have now other exercises that we want to see, and we are now on page 148. Who would like to start with this exercise? It says try to see whether we put is or are. In other words, try to decide if the blank should be in the plural or the singular. It has to do, of course, with the subject, and here the subject is nylon. Nylon is a singular, for that reason it says is synthetic. Synthetic تصنيعي يصنع تصنيعيا يعني ليس من it's not a matter of something that you can get from the raw material. Anyway, it's synthetic. Synthetic is something manufactured, in other words. It reminds us of the car oil. The car oil has two types. The first one is the one that you get immediately from the oil, and the second one is manufactured in the factories. For that reason, the one that you get from crude oil is very cheap. The one which is manufactured is very expensive. So we have this one, number 2, either his children or his wife arriving today. Do we say is or are? We ask Fatima to answer the question. Yes.
Are.
Fatima says you say are.
No. Yes.
Either his children or his wife is arriving today or are arriving today. You say are you sure?
Yes, because children, they are plural. Are his wife. So I think are.
Well, here is the problem, because we're talking about either. So the subject here is either. It's not what comes after either. You say either, then it should be is, to the best of my knowledge. Anyway, we will see if this is correct or not. Thank you very much, Fatima. This is confusing, and we know that it's confusing. So basically, if you have either, usually you say is, unless there is a rule of proximity, which says that you have to say are. But I think it should be no, it should be is. We will discuss it later on. We'll see the answer if it is or are later on. Both the chair and the sofa on sale. So do we say are or is? And I think I'll try to take somebody who hasn't talked yet. We have Maha, please. Both the chair and the sofa. Unmute yourself, please. Yes, you can talk.
Yes, both the chair and the sofa are on sale.
So here is my question. But sofa is singular. Why do you put are?
Because of both.
Because what determines the number of the verb here or the subject is both. It's not neither the chair nor the sofa. Thank you very much, Maha. Now we move to every dog and cat vaccinated against rabies. So do we have is? Do we have are? And Abdullah, please.
Every dog and cat, I think, is vaccinated against
Yes,
rabies.
thank you very much. Abdullah is
Welcome.
vaccinated against rabies, and this is it should be is, because the word that determines the number is every. Once again, we're on page 148 for those who's listening to the recording. If this recording is successful, then you will hear my voice. Otherwise, only those people who are attending the lecture will hear me. There are several universities in the cities, and I think I will ask now who will answer this question. Amani will answer this question, and she will tell us.
There are.
There are. Why did you say there are?
Because the subject here is universities.
Thank you very much. Yes, it is a subject which is university. Thank you very much. And we move now to Amira, because we want Amira to tell us. Where is Amira? Yes, Amira is here. Okay. We would like to ask Amira now to answer number 6. Eat the bicyclist who endangered the joggers.
Answer is.
The rule says whenever you see it, it always is. Even if it refers to the bicyclists, which is plural, you still stick to it, which is called the dummy it. If you want to seek the grammar books, it's called the dummy it. It doesn't have any meaning. Thank you very much, Amira. We move now to the New York Times. So is it read by many people or are read by many people? We have this question, and I think I will ask now maybe Ali to answer the question. Please, Ali.
The New York Times is read by many people.
Yes, thank you very much. And the rule says when you have the name of a book or the name of a newspaper, then it is simply singular. It's not plural. Who would like to translate this one, number 7, which says the New York Times is read by many people? Who would like to translate it? I am dropping now your hand so that you can raise your hand if you are interested in translation. We have Fatima. Fatima, one moment. Yes. Fatima.
العديد من الناس يقرأوا مجلة نيويورك تايمز.
Now here is the issue. The writer started with the subject New York Times and chose the passive voice because he wants to say that he's more concerned about the New York Times than about the people who read it. So possibly you cannot say يقرأ كثير من الناس New York Times. You have to say it the opposite way.
We say تقرأ جريدة نيويورك تايمز من قبل العديد من الناس.
Now, if you say تقرأ New York Times من قبل العديد من الناس, we are in another problem here. Yes, you translated the passive voice, but the problem that we have is it is awkward in Arabic, and we do not say in this way. So maybe we go to Arabic and we say that if Arabic wants to make an arrangement of importance of things, they would say, for example, يقرأ New York Times كثير من الأشخاص. So it's a matter of putting the order of the subject and the object. You put the object first and then the subject, so that you do not need to make the passive voice. This is one of the ways that we solve it. Thank you very much. Now we move to page 140. 149, I think we can work with a couple of these exercises. I will ask you now to start with number 15. Number 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Number 15, who would like to do number 15? I'm trying to see now which of you would like to speak. Well, we have the same people, and we have Maysa, and then I would go to Sarah. Maysa, number 15.
Okay, a number of doctors or?
A number of doctors. are employed by the
employed by the
hospital. Do you
hospital.
know why we say are? Yes, we can say are, but why?
Yeah, because the rule says that with a number of
We
use
say
are.
yes, are. Yes,
But
thank you
with
very much. Yes, thank you very much. This is a very correct answer. The answer is that when we have a number of, the rule says we have to say are and not is. And by the way, to have the rule, it's in the book. It is in the following pages. Number 16, and we have number 16. I think who will answer number 16? Number 16, let's say Maha will answer number 16, please. Yes, Maha.
Okay, the number of female doctors. Yes, the number of female doctors that is growing. The number is.
And why do you say is?
The number of takes singular subject.
So this is the rule. It says when you have the number of, it is in fact singular and not plural. Thank you very much for answering my question. Now I would like to have one question for a clever person. All of you are clever, but I would like to have a smart person to answer me this question. How do you translate number 15 and how do you translate number 16 into Arabic? Well, Nidal, yes, we can have Nidal for translation of these sentences, number 15 and 16, please.
I will try number 15. A number of doctors. العديد من الأطباء يعني يعملون في المستشفى أو يتم توظيفهم في المستشفى.
No, Nidal, we do not give alternatives, so stick to one alternative, please. I would like to say هناك عدد من الأطباء يوظفهم المستشفى. That's fine. Number 16, what do you have?
Number 16, the number of female doctors
is growing. Yes.
Yes, is growing. عدد الذين يوظفهم المستشفى من الإناث ينمو.
Fine. I would say something else. Would say simply عدد الطبيبات في ازدياد. That's all. عدد الطبيبات في ازدياد. Thank you very much, Nidal, and I hope that this is clear for you that there is a big difference between the first one and the second one in translation, the number of, etc. Number 17, the English, well known for their love of tea, and we would like to ask Fatima to answer this question. Fatima, what do you do with this sentence? Do you say the English is or the English are?
The English is well known for their love of tea.
So if you say the English is well known for their love of tea, we have two problems. The first one is that we have a conflict with the word there, and the second one is that the English here, it is the English people. So the English people are well known for their love of tea. It's not is. Thank you, Fatima. Thank you very much. I'm sorry I have to move fast from one person to another for two reasons. First of all, we do not have much time, and the second thing is that we have to be very fast in answering these questions because this is part of the trick. Now we have Abdullah. We'll take Abdullah now, please. Abdullah, we have number 18, the hypothesis supported by the data. It is or are, because we have S with the hypothesis. No.
Yes, it is. I think is the hypothesis is supported by the data.
So it is the hypothesis is supported by the data, which is now يدعم الفرضية البيانات. The hypothesis is supported by the data. Thank you very much. Now we would like to have another person, and here we would like to have Maysa, and then Ali, and then Amani. Maysa, yes, number 19.
The young deer are staying near their mothers.
Yes, they are staying with their mothers. Thank you very much. Yes, are staying with their mother, yes, because this is plural. Number 20, we have Amira, sorry, not Amira, we have Ali first, and then we will have Amani. Ali, unmute yourself, please.
Yeah, number 20, I think are.
Those species of fish are, yes, thank you very much, that's correct. That's fine, which is are. So we move now to the rule, and rule says here, and please remember that Amani will talk just a little bit, a bit more after we finish this rule. We're on page 149, and this is the first rule that we have in singular subjects. Subjects are singular. Subjects take only singular verbs if, this is the first rule, if it is one of any of these words. If you have everyone, someone, anyone, no one, each, either, you remember either, we had some confusion about it, and I said to you, since it's either, whatever comes after either, it should be singular, not plural. So all of these things, please memorize them. I have nothing more to say to you, then please just memorize it. This is the only thing that I can say about it. So I am just putting them here on the whiteboards and putting some yellow highlights on them so that you remember those words. Those words, whenever you find them, simply they are singular no matter what. Examples: everyone, you cannot say everyone are here, you can say everyone is here. Everyone speaks English, everyone writes in English, everyone drinks juice. Neither of these books and neither of these books is very new. Neither of these chocolates is delicious, etc. With each or every comes before singular subject joined by an, a singular verb is required. For example, every. The rule says if we have every or each, we must have a singular verb. If there is a singular noun, there must be a singular verb. So you can say each student and teacher, it must be has. Each man and woman speaks, writes, is eligible, etc. So this is the rule. Now we move to the next one, introductory it, or as I said, it's called dummy it. Sometimes it's always in the simple form. It is just simply singular. Now we move to the next exercise. It says in World War II, the men who served in combat roles. And we would like to ask Amani now to help us solve this puzzle. Amani, you have the microphone.
Yes. The answer is because the subject it.
Yes, because it is the subject is it. Can you please do another one? Do me a favor, please. The second one. Neither of the reporters allowed to interview the players.
Neither of the reporters is allowed.
Is allowed. Can you translate it into Arabic, please? Okay, I will just. I must be faster than you, and here we have to be fast. And I say, لم يسمح لأي من الصحفيين مقابلة اللاعبين. That's all. Thank you very much, Amani, for your participation, and we will now move to another person. We have Maha, Nidal, Abdullah, Sarah, Ali. I'm not sure which one did not talk a lot, so Sarah maybe. Sarah, we have number 3 and 4.
Yeah. Number 3, everyone is required to write a composition.
Yes.
And number 4, every man, woman, and child is given a free
everyone.
ticket.
What did you say? I didn't hear you. Sorry. Did you say is or did
Everyone's
you say
is. Everyone
yes.
is.
Thank you very much. Now I would like to ask you first of all to translate it into Arabic. Everyone is required to write a composition. How would you say it in Arabic?
I think طلب من لا everyone is required to write.
Okay.
يتوجب على كل أحد أن يكتب الcomposition. I don't know.
Sarah, thank you very much. Thank you very much. I will just translate this for you before you jump to number 4. يتوجب means يأكل وجبة طعام أو غداء. This is يتوجب. So if you want to say something like this, say يجب and not يتوجب. This is first. The second problem in your translation is the fact that you said is required. It's not a matter of يتوجب. It's يطلب. هناك طلب. There is a kind of condition or something like this. Anyway, it's not a big difference between what you said and what I say, but composition is certainly موضوع تعبير. So anyway, it's the same. يطلب إلى كل شخص أن يكتب موضوع تعبير, or if you say يجب على كل شخص أن يكتب موضوع تعبير, I would not say it's a problem. Number 4, please.
everyone. Okay. كل رجل امرأة وطفل يعطى بطاقة مجانية.
Anyway, it should be is because this is every. Thank you very much, Sarah. Thank you for participating. And you can say كل شخص, كل رجل وامرأة, وهذا يعطى تذكرة مجانية, or otherwise you have to say يعطى كل رجل وامرأة وطفل تذكرة مجانية. And here we have the problem. Do we start in Arabic with the subject first or with the verb first? We cannot do that here in this classroom. You can do it any way you like, but remember, the default is that you start with the verb first and then with the subject. Usually we have exceptions for this rule because we're writing lots of things and we're translating lots of things. In translation, things differ because you translate an article, you translate something which is very big. Sometimes you put the verb first, sometimes you put the subject. There is no specific rule for that. It's just a stylistic. Thank you very much. Now we move to forget about number 5, we move to number 6, and number 6 says we have either something which is wrong or something which is right or correct. And I'll try to see if there is anybody who's raising his hand who did not speak that much. Aya, we're very pleased to see you raising your hand. Aya, we have number 6. Each fruit and vegetable were organically grown. So is this correct or not? Aya, I'm afraid you have to unmute yourself. Yes, please. We can hear you now. Yes.
Yeah, it's wrong because each takes single verb, so the right is was.
So the right thing is to say was rather than to say is. No, I try to do something here, something good to. Yes, okay. So it is rather than. Sorry, it's not is. I'm sorry. I said is. It should be was. It should be was. Okay. Can you do number 7, please?
Yeah. Everyone has to arrive, not have, because it's all singular.
So it should also be has rather than have. Thank you very much, Aya. And I think I heard just the sound of your little baby. I hope that he can participate with us as well. So this is very good that you have it. We don't have any problem, of course, that he's with us. So can you do number 8, please?
Thanks.
Number 8. Can you do number 8?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to the baby now.
What?
I'm talking to your baby now. Do you have a baby with you? I heard just the sound of the baby or something.
Yeah.
So I'm
talking
to him or her to answer the question. Since they cannot answer, you can answer him on their behalf. No problem. Yes, number 8.
Yeah, number 8. It was children. How Brooks went.
You don't have to say You have just to look at it and was and say if there's something wrong or not. Is there anything
correct.
It's correct. So correct, no problem, because this is it. Thank you very much, Aya. I think we have answered the questions correctly. Thank you for giving us 3 answers so far, and thank you for being your baby, whether he or she. I feel sometimes of the efforts that you're making to attend these lectures and to participate, even if you have a baby who's around you. At the same time, I think of those people who simply say they don't have a microphone to talk, or who do not want to talk because they are shy. So you can see the different attitudes of you. Anyway, I'm not going to say anything. Thank you very much, Aya. Thank you for your participation. Now we move to, let's see, we have Amira. Amira, number 9 and 10, please.
9, everything is for sale. This sentence is correct.
So everything is in the
Correct.
house is for sale. Did you think it's correct?
Yes.
Okay, yes, it is correct. This what is correct because everything is a
It's
singular word.
singular
What about number 10?
subject. Then everything. Incorrect because once.
It should be once because
Uh,
it is, yes. Thank you very
yeah.
much, Amira, for your
Yes.
participation. And now I will move to the next rule. Now here is the rule. The rule says if something comes between the two parts of the subject, then you just look at what comes out before that thing that is just making this trouble for us. For example, you say the man together with his 10 children, the man in addition to his children, along with as well as. All of these things do not determine what comes in the verb. In other words, you just look at the man. What about the man? Is it man singular or plural? Since it's singular, then the verb must be singular. It's not plural at all, even if we have these words. But mind you, if we have and, it is a totally different story. So everyone except him has a book. So except does not do anything. Also, you just look at what comes before except. And anyway, it is everyone. Everyone is simply a singular, not a plural. So we have the teacher along with her student is viewing a film. One of the most enjoyable parties was given by Helen. This is very common, by the way. When you have of inside the subject, when you have of, look at what comes before the of rather than after to decide whether it is a singular or plural. One of the most enjoyable parties is plural, yes, but the verb is was, because it has to do with one. And this is 150, as you can see. This is the page 150. Other examples of this rule about the subject and plural, singular, we have there, here, and where. Those are adverbs and cannot act as subjects. You cannot say there is no dogs in the neighborhood, and here are the results of the experiments. You cannot say here is, because you look always for the subject. Subject here is dogs, and the verb is are. Colloquial English, by the way, the Americans in particular, you could hardly hear a person who would say there are no dogs. They would always say there is no dogs. They will always say here is the rules. I don't know. This is language they speak. Sometimes I ask myself, do the Americans speak English or the British speak English? Because colloquial English there is totally different from what we have. I'm now just reviewing the chat box that we have here. And we have several questions. I'm sorry because it's very difficult to read them while we are at work. So I will ask Abdullah please to talk because he wants to say something. Abdullah wants the mic. Yes, Abdullah, please.
Yeah, thank you so much for giving me this chance to talk about something here about page number 115. If we can return back to question number 6 in the middle of the page, please. Yeah. So I am wondering why we use like was here to correct the sentence, since you know the fruits and vegetable is originally from organic compounds.
Because
so,
the rule says simply, because the rule says when you have each, then the verb is always singular, it's not plural. We're not talking about fruit or vegetable. Just forget about them. It's each.
Yep. Thank you. Thank you so much.
This is the only thing that we have. Yes, I can understand what you say, by the way. To tell the truth, when the first encounter that I have with this book, it was a disaster, because everything there in the English, with they saying wrong, I used to think they were correct. So I know this is a disaster because this is the book. Now we move to the exercises. We have this 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I would like someone to do for me number 1 and 2. some other person for 3 and 4, and finally we have 5. I will start to see, I'll try as much as possible to see people who haven't talked a lot. We'll start with Ali, and then Amani, and then Maysa, and then whoever. Yes. Ali, you have the floor now to talk about number 1 and 2. And the answer is, do we say has or have? This is the question.
Number 1 has, number 2 have.
Number 1 is has, and number 2 is have, because of the subjects are here. This is a subject, and this is a subject. So singular here, plural there. Thank you, Ali. Thank you very much. Now we move to another person. I would like to ask now Amani to talk about number 3 and 4.
Yes, number 3 has, and number 4 has as well.
So we have has and has simply because singular, singular. Thank you very much, Amani. And now we will have number 5, John, but not Mike, gone to play soccer at the park. And we have Nidal. Please, Nidal, yes, say something.
Yes, John, but not Mike. Here, I think have gone to play at the park.
Anyway, the word button does not make any kind of combination for a plural subject, so it's still John, which is the subject. So it simply is and not that. Thank you very much, Nidal, anyway, for your participation. We're always looking for good answers and wrong answers anyway to correct them. I think we do not have any problem with this one because they are the same. Let me explain them just in a hurry and say there has never been so many joggers in the race. Here we have a problem because joggers is the subject. There is a problem with the verb, certainly. A box, now this is the subject. We forget about books because we have of. We look just at it comes before box. Are under the bed, simply this is wrong, it should be is under the bed. The president together with his assistants, it's simply the president singular, and you go there singular, it's okay. Here is the music as well as the words to the song. Here is the music, yes, it's correct because this is the subject, which is music. Everyone, this is the subject regardless of what comes after, and this one should be speaks rather than speak because it is singular. Before I move forward, do you have any question? I will just lower your hands so that Maha has a question maybe. Do you have a question? No, nobody. Anybody has a question about these things? So let's move, and please just read the book carefully. If you have any question, you have a group, and you should be part of the group, or the Facebook group. You can discuss it with each other, and try not to involve me, please. I will not answer any of these questions that you ask in the group. You should do it yourself. And by the way, the group is going to be eliminated completely after the course. It will be deleted, so try now to make some kind of connections with your friends. Rules for subject-verb agreement continued. Plural subjects. We talked about this singular. Now let's talk about the plural. And before we do that, I will just take your permission to stop the recording